The Olympics, once celebrated as the pinnacle of international athletic achievement, now carry a weighty burden that few cities are willing to bear. Cities once clamored to host the Games, driven by dreams of global recognition, economic prosperity, and a lasting legacy. Yet recent years have revealed a disturbing trend, a growing reluctance among potential host cities, from Tokyo to Paris. From spiraling costs to concerns over infrastructure and community displacement, the allure of the Olympic flame is dimming. Join us as we explore why the world's most prestigious sporting event is losing its luster and what this means for its future. In 2008, Beijing transformed its skyline for the Summer Olympics, constructing iconic venues and lavish accommodations, promising a grand showcase of global talent. The Games brought together nations and captivated billions, leaving a lasting impression on history. Fast forward to 2024, and the allure of the Olympics seems more like a haunting memory than a coveted opportunity. As cities grapple with staggering costs, infrastructure demands, and public dissent, the dream of hosting the world's biggest sporting event has become a nightmare. The once vibrant enthusiasm has been replaced by hesitation, casting doubt on the future of the Olympic Games. 1. Spiraling costs, the price of glory. Hosting the Olympic Games comes with enormous financial demands that often exceed initial budget estimates. When a city bids for the Olympics, it typically outlines a budget that includes projected costs for infrastructure, venue construction, security, and operational logistics. However, as the Games approach, these costs can balloon dramatically. For instance, the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia, had an estimated budget of $12 billion, but the final tally reached over $50 billion, making it the most expensive Olympics in history. Such financial discrepancies raise serious concerns among local taxpayers and government officials. Many cities that consider bidding for the Olympics often grapple with the harsh reality that the expected economic benefits, such as increased tourism and business growth, might not materialize. Moreover, the post-Olympics aftermath often leaves host cities in debt. Rio de Janeiro, which hosted the 2016 Summer Olympics, saw its economy plunge into crisis afterward. The extensive spending on the Games was a contributing factor to the city's financial woes, leading to unpaid bills and abandoned venues. The strain on public resources becomes a significant issue, as funds that could have been allocated to public services, education, or healthcare are instead funneled into Olympic preparations. Public opposition is growing, as citizens are increasingly questioning the rationale behind spending vast amounts of taxpayer money on a few weeks of athletic competition. The prospect of enduring financial strain, alongside the realization that hosting the Games may not deliver the promised economic uplift, has caused cities like Boston and Hamburg to withdraw their bids. The spiraling costs associated with the Olympics pose a formidable barrier, transforming what was once seen as a prestigious honor into a burdensome financial obligation. 2. Infrastructure woes, building for the future. When cities host the Olympics, they often undertake extensive infrastructure development to meet the demands of the event. This includes constructing new sports venues, upgrading transportation systems, and enhancing accommodation facilities for the influx of athletes and tourists. While this infrastructure investment can provide long-term benefits, it often comes with significant short-term challenges. One of the most prominent issues is the disruption to local communities. Construction projects can lead to increased traffic congestion, noise pollution, and displacement of residents, particularly in areas earmarked for new facilities. For instance, in Rio de Janeiro, the construction of Olympic venues resulted in the eviction of many families from their homes, raising ethical concerns about the prioritization of the Games over local communities. Moreover, many Olympic venues become underutilized white elephants after the Games conclude. The cost of maintaining these venues can be a burden on taxpayers. The Olympic Stadium built for the 2008 Beijing Games is a prime example. While it was once a symbol of national pride, it now stands largely unused and is costly to maintain. The long-term implications of such infrastructure investments need to be considered carefully. Cities must evaluate whether the proposed facilities will serve the community's needs beyond the Olympics. By focusing on sustainable development and community engagement, host cities can create a lasting legacy that benefits residents rather than contributing to social disruption. This critical reassessment is essential for cities contemplating Olympic bids, as the burden of infrastructure woes often overshadows the initial excitement surrounding the Games. 3. Political controversies. The Olympic Games as a stage. The Olympics have long been intertwined with political narratives, often reflecting the socio-political climate of host nations. While the Games are ostensibly about sports and international unity, they frequently become a platform for political statements, leading to controversies that can tarnish the Olympic spirit. Potential host cities are scrutinized not only for their logistical capabilities, but also for their political environments and human rights records. For instance, the decision to host the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing faced widespread criticism due to China's record on human rights, particularly regarding its treatment of Uyghur Muslims and pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong. This has led to calls for boycotts and heightened scrutiny of the IOC's decision-making process. Moreover, the Olympics can become a stage for protests, as athletes and activists seize the opportunity to voice their concerns. The 1968 Mexico City Olympics are a notable example, where American sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists in a Black Power salute during the medal ceremony, highlighting racial injustice in the United States. Such displays can overshadow athletic achievements and shift public focus from the Games to the pressing issues of the day. The complex interplay between sports and politics complicates the bidding process, as cities must navigate public sentiment and potential backlash. This new dynamic requires a thoughtful approach, as the IOC seeks to balance the celebration of athletic excellence with an awareness of global social justice issues. Ultimately, the political controversies surrounding the Olympics challenge the notion of the Games as a purely apolitical celebration of sport. 4. Environmental impact, a growing concern. In an era marked by increasing awareness of climate change and environmental sustainability, the ecological impact of hosting the Olympic Games is a significant concern. The massive construction projects required to prepare for the Olympics contribute to environmental degradation, as natural habitats are destroyed to make way for new facilities, roads, and infrastructure. The 2016 Rio Olympics faced intense criticism for its environmental impact. The construction of venues led to deforestation and disruption of local ecosystems, raising questions about the long-term sustainability of such projects. Furthermore, the influx of tourists generates substantial carbon emissions through air travel and local transportation, contributing to the global climate crisis. As host cities grapple with the consequences of their Olympic ambitions, many are reevaluating their commitment to sustainability. For instance, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics made efforts to utilize recycled materials for medals and promote energy-efficient technologies, highlighting a shift toward more environmentally responsible practices. However, the question remains: can the Olympics genuinely align with the principles of sustainability while still maintaining their grandeur and scale? The rising sea levels and extreme weather events also pose a threat to future Olympic locations. Cities like Los Angeles and Tokyo must now consider the long-term viability of their infrastructure in the face of climate-related risks. By prioritizing environmental considerations in planning, the IOC and host cities can work toward a model that balances the excitement of the Games with a commitment to protecting the planet for future generations. 5. The evolving role of social media and public opinion. The advent of social media has fundamentally changed how public opinion is formed and expressed, particularly in the context of large-scale events like the Olympics. In the past, the decision to host the Games was often celebrated with enthusiasm, as cities positioned themselves for global recognition. However, today, dissenting voices are amplified through social media platforms, allowing citizens to express their concerns and influence the narrative surrounding the Olympics. Public backlash against Olympic bids has become increasingly common, as activists and local residents use social media to mobilize support and share their perspectives. In cities like Los Angeles and Boston, grassroots movements emerged to challenge the perceived benefits of hosting the Games, advocating instead for investment in local priorities such as housing, education, and healthcare. This shift in public sentiment reflects a broader trend toward community engagement and accountability in decision-making processes. The ability to share information instantly has also led to greater scrutiny of the Olympic movement itself. From examining the costs associated with hosting to raising awareness about social issues, social media serves as a powerful tool for advocacy and activism. Citizens are no longer passive observers. They are active participants in shaping the conversation around the Olympics. 6. Case studies: the withdrawal of host cities. The reluctance to host the Olympics has become evident in several recent case studies, as cities that were once eager to take on the challenge have stepped back. This trend reflects a growing awareness of the financial, social, and environmental implications of hosting such a monumental event. One of the most notable instances occurred in Boston, where the city initially considered bidding for the 2024 Summer Olympics. However, public opposition grew quickly, fueled by concerns over costs and potential disruption to local communities. Activists highlighted that the billions earmarked for Olympic infrastructure could be better invested in addressing urgent local issues such as homelessness, transportation, and education. Facing mounting pressure, the city ultimately withdrew its bid in 2015, marking a significant moment in Olympic history. Similarly, Hamburg's bid for the 2024 Olympics met with considerable public resistance. A referendum was held in which a majority of citizens voted against hosting the Games, citing concerns over costs, displacement, and the need for sustainable urban development. This defeat underscored a crucial shift in public sentiment, as communities prioritized their immediate needs over the allure of Olympic prestige. These examples illustrate a broader trend among cities reassessing the value of hosting the Olympics. As the burdens associated with the Games become increasingly apparent, potential hosts are weighing the benefits against the costs more critically. This trend may lead the IOC to rethink its approach, emphasizing a more collaborative and community-oriented model that recognizes the complexities of hosting the Games in today's world. 7. The future of the Olympic Games. As the reluctance to host the Olympics continues to grow, the future of the Games hangs in the balance. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, faces mounting pressure to adapt to this evolving landscape, which increasingly prioritizes sustainability, social responsibility, and community engagement over the traditional glitz and glamour associated with the event. One potential solution is for the IOC to explore a more sustainable model for hosting the Olympics, where cities with existing infrastructure and facilities are prioritized. This approach could minimize the financial burden on host cities and reduce the environmental impact of new construction. By leveraging existing venues, the Games could still deliver the excitement and competition that fans cherish while alleviating some of the concerns that have caused cities to withdraw their bids. Moreover, the IOC may need to foster deeper partnerships with local communities to build trust and transparency. Engaging citizens in the planning process can help address concerns and ensure that the benefits of the Games extend beyond the athletes and tourists. By focusing on legacy projects that improve local infrastructure and enhance community well-being, the Olympics can transition from a costly endeavor to a source of pride and benefit for the host city. 8. Case studies. The withdrawal of host cities. In recent years, several cities have withdrawn their bids to host the Olympics, reflecting growing concerns over the associated costs and community impact. A prominent example is Boston, which initially sought to host the 2024 Summer Olympics. However, as public sentiment turned against the bid due to fears of spiraling expenses and potential disruption to local neighborhoods, grassroots campaigns emerged, emphasizing the need for investment in essential public services instead of Olympic infrastructure. Ultimately, the city withdrew its bid in 2015, signaling a significant shift in public opinion. Similarly, Hamburg faced considerable resistance when bidding for the 2024 Games. A public referendum revealed a majority of citizens opposed hosting, prioritizing local needs over the prestige of the Olympics. These cases highlight a broader trend of cities reevaluating the benefits of hosting the Games, emphasizing the importance of community engagement and sustainable development in decision-making processes. 9. The future of the Olympic Games. The future of the Olympic Games is uncertain as host cities become increasingly reluctant to shoulder the financial and social burdens associated with the event. To adapt, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, may need to rethink its approach, prioritizing sustainability and community involvement. A potential strategy could involve selecting cities with existing infrastructure, minimizing the need for extensive new construction, and reducing environmental impacts. Furthermore, fostering partnerships with local communities can enhance trust and transparency, ensuring that the benefits of the Olympics extend beyond athletes and tourists. By focusing on legacy projects that improve local infrastructure, the Games can become a source of pride and long-term benefit for host cities. As public sentiment continues to evolve, embracing diverse host cities will be crucial for the IOC to ensure that the Olympic Games remain a relevant and cherished celebration of global unity in the years to come. The Olympic Games, once a beacon of hope and unity, are now shrouded in uncertainty and hesitation. The burden of hosting the Games has become a significant deterrent for cities worldwide, as financial implications, political controversies, environmental concerns, and shifting public opinions overshadow the once coveted honor. As we look toward the future, the IOC must navigate this new landscape with care, balancing the legacy of the Olympics with the pressing needs of local communities. The question remains, can the Olympic spirit endure in a world that increasingly prioritizes sustainability and social responsibility over spectacle and extravagance? Only time will tell if the Olympic flame will continue to burn brightly or fade into history as a relic of a bygone era.